Are you working harder than ever to grow your law firm, but still feel like success is just out of reach? Many law firm owners believe the next million in revenue is the solution. But what if that's not the answer? Welcome to Breaking the £1 Million Myth, the podcast for law firm owners who want a high-profit, low-stress law firm. I'm Michelle Peters, former Magic Circle solicitor turned law firm growth strategist, sharing practical advice to help you grow a law firm that's not just successful on paper, but actually works for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to episode 6, Real Lawyers, Real Results, where I want to show you how the concepts we've discussed in the past 5 episodes have translated into real results for the owners of small law firms just like you. I want to share with you what happened when 2 different lawyers working in 2 different types of small law firms stepped up from their practitioner roles to really embrace being the CEO of their law firms, and how they achieved increased profits and more time off. Now, if you've listened to episode 5, you'll already know that this stepping up into the CEO role is about becoming the driver of your vehicle, your firm, so you can journey beyond the £1 million revenue myth and get the results you want, whether that's better clients, higher profits, more time off, or a combination of all 3. Every law firm owner I work with has a different view about the results they want, and that's what makes their journey unique. My first job is always to ask the right questions that will enable me to diagnose 3 things. Firstly, what results they want and why, so I understand their motivation and what's really important to them. Secondly, where they are starting from, so I know what we've got to work with. And thirdly, what specific challenges or roadblocks or bottlenecks they have in their firm that we need to deal with in order to get them the results they want. Knowing these 3 things enables me to give each law firm owner a personalised and customised growth plan which is unique to them. In the same way, a doctor might give you a prescription to help you deal with a specific health challenge or a symptom that you want to improve. The reason you need a specific prescription for your practice, based on your specific circumstances, is that every practice is different. Cookie-cutter or off-the-shelf plans just don't work. There's no one-size-fits-all here. Your practice is not a sock. Not only do cookie-cutter plans not work, they're wasting your most valuable asset, your time. As a reminder, we talked in episode 3, the Freedom Firm Framework, about the pressures that a time-for-money industry like law puts onto your personal time and why you must protect and maximise your time if you want a high-profit, low-stress law firm. And what this means for you is that spending time implementing a cookie-cutter plan that doesn't work, or spending time trying to customise a one-size-fits-all plan to fit your specific size is a waste of your highly valuable time and will keep you stuck, frustrated, and working too hard for the results you'll get. So it all starts with a personalised plan, which I call a game plan. This gives you a roadmap to your desired destination. On our website, we've got tons of testimonials from law firm owners we've worked with who've happily shared the results that they've had from working with us. But for the purposes of this episode, I'm going to change the name of 2 lawyers whose stories I'll share today, so we can go deep into their challenges and results without breaching confidentiality. So, let me first introduce you to Alan, the managing partner of a small law firm specialising in property and litigation. And when Alan first came to me a few years ago telling me he wanted to increase his profits without burning out, our first step was the game plan session. In our session, Alan told me he was working very hard, but his profit levels were low. He wanted to change both of those things. He told me he wanted to double his fee income levels to generate more profit whilst working fewer hours. Doubling your fee income whilst working fewer hours might sound like a pipe dream, but it doesn't have to be, as Alan proved. But let's start at the beginning. When Alan first came to me more than a year ago, he was overworked and overwhelmed, and his firm's growth was flatlining. All those extra hours he was putting in were not translating into growth. He was stressed out and he'd run out of steam, and it showed. When I talked to him about his current situation, he told me that despite working really hard, he was constantly firefighting issues both internally with clients and externally, and he could never seem to get on top of things. So we went through the heat map process I described in episode 4, and we identified that his red area was maximize. And within that area, he had the challenges of both time and profitability of each client. So I gave him some specific accelerator strategies to work on in each of those areas. And then we continued to meet and discuss the steps he needed, the progress he was making, and any course corrections that were needed as we went along. 12 months on, at the end of our year review, he was looking relaxed, he was looking satisfied. Actually, he had that look of someone who set a bold goal and achieved it. He told me he'd doubled his fee income to $550,000 in the previous 12 months, boosting profit levels in the process, whilst reducing his working hours to 4 hours a day so he could have more time for himself. He also told me one of the key things that has helped me achieve these results is the ongoing strategic focus that profitable practice supports and the shift in mindset that it promotes. Mindset is critical, as we discussed in episode 5, but it does have to be combined with the right strategies to bring results. So I asked Alan which of the specific profitable practice accelerator strategies that I'd recommended had contributed most to his results. He told me that 2 key strategies had provided the biggest results combined together. First, raising his fees 3 times within a 12-month period had significantly helped him increase his monthly fee income. He said to me, "We would never have had the confidence to make those increases without your fee increase safety net system and your support." Second, he'd freed up a day a week of his own time using our team amplifier system to not just delegate tasks, but delegate responsibilities to other team members. But these 2 strategies aren't the answer for every firm. Alan had great results because he installed the right systems and strategies in the right order based on his circumstances. So it all has to start with your specific circumstances, the results you want, your current reality, and the roadblocks you're facing. This is what creates the heat map and what enables me to make the right recommendations for each firm I work with. Alan's biggest desire was to reduce his working hours and avoid burnout while still achieving his financial targets. But another law firm owner, Rebecca, was more focused on increasing profits. When Rebecca first came to me for a Gameplan session, she had a fee income of around $300,000 a year, with around $100,000 a year in profit. Outwardly, things appeared to be going well, but she told me she was worried about her ability to grow the firm further. She quickly told me her turnover goal was $3 million or more, with 1.3 in profit. So that's about 44%. And she told me that she wanted her firm to be sale ready for when the right moment came along. So I could see she had big plans. When we drilled into more details about the challenges she was facing, there were a lot of factors at play. She said her team didn't see her vision of the firm the way she did. She found it hard to see how she could grow the firm on her own. She also felt she wasn't making the most of the clients she was getting, and she wanted better quality and bigger clients for her commercial practice. She also wanted her firm to have a robust system and processes in place so that if one person left, it didn't disrupt the business, leaving her slipping back into the doing everything again. When I asked Rebecca which area of her practice she most wanted to improve, she said, "That's a difficult one, I want it all." And when I asked how quickly she wanted to solve the issues, she smiled and said, "Yesterday." I could see why she was stuck. Massive goals, but lots of challenges and no clear roadmap to show the way there. Being the CEO of your law firm is about not just having a big vision, it's about tackling the challenges that might stop you getting there in the right way and in the right order. Trying to do too many things at once just leaves you going round in circles, getting burnt out in the process. So my job was to help guide Rebecca on that journey by identifying which steps she should take and in which order. Because despite her wanting it all and results by yesterday, doing everything at once was definitely not the answer. For example, Rebecca really wanted to have bigger and more household name clients. But in the meantime, she didn't have enough bread and butter clients to keep her and her team at the levels of fee income she wanted to achieve. So, rather than try and target the big fish clients and the bread and butter clients at the same time, I recommended starting with the bread and butter work first. This was for 2 reasons. Firstly, a targeted marketing strategy to bring in bread and butter clients, in this case SMEs and in-house counsel, would allow for consistency of work levels and would be something that we could systemize for scalability later. Secondly, once these clients were being attracted in sufficient numbers, we could then supplement this with systems that would maximize the value of each new client she got, rather than just focusing on the transaction that they had first asked for help with. Once the bread and butter client marketing was in place, she'd be able to focus more on the experimental marketing approach I recommended for the bigger clients that she really wanted to attract. Secondly, once these clients were being attracted in sufficient numbers, we could then supplement this with systems that would maximize the value of each new client she got, rather than just focusing on the first transaction that they asked for help with. Once the bread and butter client marketing was in place, she'd be able to focus on the more experimental marketing approach I recommended for the bigger clients that she really wanted to attract. Understanding which strategies will work for your firm and which order to implement them in makes a big difference to how confident you feel about achieving your goals. This confidence has 3 key benefits. Firstly, you show up as a better, more confident leader of your law firm, like the CEO, which in turn influences your team and your clients. Secondly, it helps you relax more in your time off and sleep better at night. And thirdly, it helps you set bigger growth goals. Setting bigger goals is important because, generally speaking, the higher you aim, the more you achieve. If you set a low goal and achieve it, you might be able to pat yourself on the back, but you'll be congratulating yourself for modest results. If, on the other hand, you aim for the stars, then even if you don't reach such lofty heights, maybe just land on the moon, that's a much bigger achievement than aiming to stay within Earth's atmosphere and achieving that. In Rebecca's case, she was initially reluctant to set big growth goals because she wasn't sure she could achieve it. She was naturally reluctant because she couldn't yet see a way to achieve the bigger goal. But once we discussed the strategy of getting more bread and butter clients before targeting the high value clients, she could see how she could achieve significant growth and get the higher value clients she really wanted. Now she became open to setting a bigger growth goal for her firm. She later told me, "I felt anxious about the size of the goals that we'd set, but felt confident that with your help, I could achieve it." As well as helping her set a big growth goal, I also showed Rebecca how she could use an education-based marketing funnel for these bread and butter services she wanted to promote that would bring ideal clients to an initial consultation to discuss how her firm could help. I told her that other lawyers we'd worked with had already used this approach to get between 30 and 68% more inquiries over a 6-month period without having to spend any more money on marketing. So with this knowledge about what to do to achieve the bigger goal and some encouragement from me, she set this stretch goal. And she got fantastic results. Within 12 months, she had more than doubled the profits in her law firm. And it set up the right foundations to help her double her profits again in the following year. So that's 2 years of doubling profits. In addition, her confidence level skyrocketed and she felt confident to expand her team and do much less of the work herself, giving her the freedom of a true CEO as well as the commercial success that she so wanted. One didn't have to come at the expense of the other. All of which highlights how, if you aim big, you can achieve big results, as long as you have the right prescription to follow. So if you're looking for real results in your law firm growth journey, and especially if you're approaching your first million in revenue or aiming for your next million, then I recommend you follow the Gameplan process. First, you need to be clear about what results you want. Is it more revenue or more profits? I hope it's the second one. Is it more or better clients? Is it more time off or more time to work on your business as the CEO? Next, you need to diagnose what's holding you back or slowing you down from getting those results. In other words, the obstacles or the bottlenecks that you're facing. And what opportunities are you missing out on? You then need a personalized prescription for the right strategies and systems to overcome those obstacles and to maximize those opportunities that you have. Most law firm owners will need expert help to get the right diagnosis and the right prescription. It's normal. Just like when your law firm clients need your expertise to properly assess their legal problem and get the right legal advice about their next steps, the best help comes in a one-to-one format where it's completely personalized. I can offer that kind of personalized help too, and I do it all the time for the owners of small law firms who want a high profit, low stress law firm. And to help you get your initial diagnosis and prescription quickly and easily and without any cost, I've put together a special diagnostic tool called the Law Firm Growth Score. This will help you diagnose your biggest challenges or roadblocks to profitable growth without working more hours, giving you a heat map to identify the top priority red light to turn to green, and give you an initial prescription in the form of recommendations on what to fix or improve, in which order, to get the results you want. Now, the great news, it only takes 3 minutes to complete this diagnostic. It's like a quiz, and you can do it online at a time to suit you. Plus, when you take the quiz, you'll receive personalized recommendations from me and links to other resources I've created to help law firm owners like you start to fix and improve the areas you need to address. Once you've completed your diagnostic and received the initial prescription recommendations, you'll also have an opportunity to book a roadmap call with me to review your diagnostic and get even more personalized advice on the next steps based on the results you're looking for and where you're currently starting from. This roadmap call is like a mini game plan session. There's no charge for this initial roadmap call. You just need to be a law firm owner to qualify for it. So I highly recommend taking 3 minutes today to complete the diagnostic. That's the quiz. And then you'll also have the opportunity to book a call with me for further advice if you want it. Knowledge is power, and your next step is to deepen your knowledge about what's standing in your way and what to do about it. I'll see you next time. You've been listening to Breaking the £1 Million Myth. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a rating and review. And you can discover more proven strategies for profitable law firm growth at www.thebusinessinstructor.com. Hey, we've rolled the outro, but you're still here. If you're looking for something else to do, then here are my tips about what to do next. First, do whatever I recommended in that episode. Ideas don't change things. Action changes things. Second, like and subscribe our podcast so I know you like it and I'm encouraged to make more episodes for you. And third, if you'd like to continue the conversation I started in this episode, leave a comment and I'll reply. And after all that, if you've done all of that already, take a break and do something fun. You deserve it.